Hello, and welcome to Working with Visionaries. My name is Heather Levitt Martinez, and I'm a graphic facilitator, and I work a lot with nonprofits and art groups that have visionaries at the helm. I'd like to talk to you today about how visionaries often communicate. You may have picked up one of my small job aids. It's Working with Visionaries, a job aid for the inspired and potentially perplexed supporting team member. There's all kinds of ways to think about how to work with visionaries here, including how visionaries often communicate and a checklist of how you can make that easy both for you and for them. The way visionaries talk and how their minds often work, I call spiral thinking. Visionaries process ideas by optimizing and making connections based on their current knowledge and resources available to them. Often when they begin talking, they do so based on their vision, their intuition, and immediate needs. Their sharing can quickly grow into sharing of new ideas. And because intuitive thinking isn't linear, it appears to be more like a spiral, and to some it may be perceived as being out of control. Here are some ways to listen and support their vision. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about touchdowns. Sometimes when a visionary starts to talk and they go around in circles, they'll have what's called a touchdown. It's important not to get attached or start keeping score. And remember that everybody's perception of a touchdown or expectations of a visionary are different. So when listening to a visionary kind of download their ideas and thoughts, it's a natural tendency to make sense of all of this new information. So when we hear something that makes sense, when a visionary often touches down, we tend to grab hold and get attached to a thought, while the visionary just keeps on expressing themselves. I want to say a little bit about harvesting and what seems to be in a sea of ambiguity, right? So in addition to these actual touchdowns, there may be other opportunities to advance the visionary's ideas. By allowing yourself to be that styrofoam cup in the sea of ambiguity or change, you can allow yourself to continue listening and noting what makes sense. And while noting what makes sense, capture possible action items based on what you're hearing. These action items can actually help you take what seems like an abstract idea and turn it into a concrete action. A little bit about asking questions and finding satisfaction, both for you and for the visionary. There's a fine line and a fine balance between asking questions to clarify what you need and asking questions to connect with the visionary and to show your support to them. Oftentimes, visionaries may be good at expressing their ideas, but may have trouble articulating actions or answering clarifying questions. Because if they were able to do that, they could probably do their idea themselves, but they need you. So they need you to help execute their vision. So when you ask questions of a visionary, keep in mind that you might not get the answers that you want or that you need in order to take action. So it may be up to you to interpret the vision to take those actions. Sometimes visionaries can seem crazy and they have lots of big ideas. And so there's two very specific roles that I like to think about when on a team, who's a doer and who's a tour guide. On any given team, some members will try to execute quickly and some members love listening to the visionary's ideas. Taking action and showing progress satisfies a visionary's need to see their vision manifested. But also on the team, you may enjoy taking the idea journey. You might like going out here into all of these places. And by working as a tour guide, the visionary is satisfied by being met, by being heard, and knowing that some of these things are already taking action, they can keep talking and expressing their ideas. It appeases that visionaries need to be listened to. So think about yourself and other people on the team. Who's going to actually execute on these ideas and who's going to listen and continue to maintain the relationship with the visionary. In the job aid, and right here, I talk a little bit about those key points of how to support a visionary's way to communicate. First of all, just listen. They love to download. Document. If you're a graphic recorder or a sketchnoter, they love to see their ideas actually on paper. When you get to those points where you feel like you need a little bit of information, go ahead and ask the clarifying questions, but know that you may not get the exact answer that you're looking for. And when a visionary gets stuck or feels frustrated, ask them specifically, what do you need? What do you need? Because they know what the project needs. They may think they know what the team needs, and they definitely know what their vision is, but bring them back into their body or into their self and asking them what they need helps ground them a little bit. And then, of course, take action. If you stay in this sea of ambiguity and don't take any action, it just frustrates a visionary and it gets your team nowhere. No progress is made. So take action. After you take action, show your progress. Show the visionary what you've done. And if it's a big win, then celebrate it. Celebrate those wins. It validates all of the hard work that you and your team have put into it. And then, of course, be patient. If, again, this whole process keeps happening and that visionary keeps getting frustrated, keep going back to asking them, what do you need? And wash, rinse, and repeat. Because we all know that visionaries are never with a lack of ideas. So while you may be starting on one project here, it could continue on and on and on. Thank you for joining me for working with visionaries and how visionaries often communicate. I have a lot more other tools like this that I use when I facilitate, when I graphic facilitate, and I'd love to work with you or your team, be a high-performing team for a visionary. For more information, you can email me at heather@heathermartinez.com or check out my website, corporategraffitiartist.com. Thank you.